If you would like to stay, then please do. We'll pick up on your energy while shuffling in alignment with your angels, in conjunction with your higher self, knowing, being, what message wants to come through for you. Picking up on your energy, maybe take a deep breath, going into neutral. What message wants to come through for you watching this? Ooh, there's a little bit of a hidden energy or something you might not fully see here. Let's get a little bit more about this. More hidden energy. This is stuff that you could be a little blindsided to, not see right now. It could be lurking in your subconscious. And this is also connected to stuff that we aren't able to fully see in the past. Really nice that the sun is on the bottom of the deck, though. It talks about clarity, revelation, truth, happiness, understanding, a light being shed on all of this, okay? Wow. So this is connected to some kind of a severance of a contract for you, okay? Now, there could have been something involving your dreams, especially in the past, to this severed contract or agreement. This can be a literal contract, like something you would sign at work, a lease. This could be a like divorce, marriage type of energy. It could also be where you didn't sign a paper, but you were in a serious agreement or arrangement connected to a dream or wish fulfillment of your past, okay? So hypothetically, it could look like there was a contract around art or something that you were pursuing, a career or work, or that there was somebody you really loved and you wanted to build a family with them. You know, it could be that kind of an energy. Now, in the past, it feels like you were trying to stabilize emotionally. This could have been yourself. This could have been with a partner, a person. It looks like you were trying to pursue something quite seriously in whatever context, and you wanted some form of stability there. However, what we see is that there wasn't stability emotionally, especially coming from people involved or entities involved in this situation. Now, this is, again, something that's not fully being seen or recognized. Either the effects are lingering and you're not aware that they're lingering, or it's in your present now that you're not aware how this is affecting you. Maybe you idolized a part of this situation or a person here. Maybe you thought they were more mature than they were. I'm getting the vibe that that's not the case. I'm also getting the vibe that if you think a dream is over, it's not. Also, that if you think you hit the peak with a dream, you haven't, if that's what you desire. Of course, if you're done with it, if you don't want it, you have free will, you have free choice. Also, please, a reminder, only take what resonates in this message. Even though we picked up on your energy, there's more than one person watching, most likely. So you just want to make sure you use discernment with any collective readings. Only take what feels resonant for you. If it's not, it's not. Don't make it fit. All right, let's get a little more information from your angel and your own higher self guide. What are they trying to convey to you? Yeah. The work here could have slowed down, or it could have not been equal, okay? You could have not been getting met halfway. Maybe all the work isn't done in an area regarding your dreams or your vision or your goal. This could have been a relationship even in any regard that was out of balance, okay? So it looks like not all of the work was at its peak or being equal or done. There's more to do here. Again, if you want it to be. This is the energy as well on the bottom of the deck of some kind of celebration. So it's like we're seeing a lot of hints of random breakthrough or excitement or positive energy. I'm hearing positive results in regards to this. Even though it's hidden from you, it's something that is very well alive and here. I also want to say that if something was severed for you, you might have not realized how important that severance was because of how emotionally manipulative or immature or unavailable a person was, or a part of this situation was. You might not realize how important it was, this severance that happened. It needed to happen, okay? It was all a part of a plan. Four of Wands in reverse is the severance we're talking about. Even if it wasn't a literal contract, again, it can be a serious agreement, arrangement, living situation, something like that. Yeah, maybe for you, you wouldn't have gone single. You wouldn't have gone away from this. You wouldn't have cut it out. You wouldn't have gone on your own. Help came in, arrived, or something happened that needed to here, or even stopped it from ever coming together. Like something stopped this, ended this, because you wouldn't have on your own. I also feel for some of you, especially if you are feminine identifying, that you could feel like your voice is suppressed or pushed down or locked up, locked away. Even your determination, your ability to distinguish or decide, to be very decisive. You could feel like this has been pressed down or locked away, especially since a lot of these events have taken place. This could be even around your dream, your vision. It could have shook your confidence. This is more hidden energy or stuff we don't see. This is, again, being pulled out of a long-term investment, not receiving rewards, being pulled away from something you were investing a long time in. And that's hidden from you because it was part of an old way, an old view, an old paradigm that only could go so far up. Like it had a ceiling on it that was too low for the capacity that's possible here. Does that make sense? You know, it's like the ceiling was here and your ceiling could be up here, or it could be infinite. And if something was aligned to a very low bar, or, you know, a very small area that you could ever really fill and you couldn't grow beyond that, well, it's like you see more for yourself. Yeah, new beginning, new journey. Maybe it's not the one you expected or planned, you know, but it's here. I also feel like this is the most important part of this message. It's the peak of this message for you, okay? So if you're still with us, please hang in there because this is important. This Fool, I know you can't see this super well, but this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a new life, a new journey, a new path. That's what the Fool represents. Now, look at how he is turned away towards, this is the past, the left is the past, okay? So he's still looking at the past sometimes. And when he does this, or you do this, you're not aware of the sun and the path forwards and the peace and everything that's waiting for you from you right here when you just turn and look. And there is a lot of dwelling on the past of like, should have, what if, I messed up, it's too late, I did something wrong, I missed it, I failed at whatever your narrative is, this kind of repetitive thought. Let us be a voice of reason for you. Let you, through us, be a voice of reason for you. Hopefully you'll have more, that is not true, that is not the case, and that actually more often than not, the journey of life is intended to be one of, I'm hearing like, I don't know why I just heard misdemeanor, but of mishap, of what we do, of what we determine to be mistakes, of surprise, of wow, this isn't what I expected. Like life is very humbling like this. And it does not mean that because we are living something we didn't expect, that we are off course, off path, that we've done something wrong, that life won't be good. That is not what it means. And it is sometimes actually being stuck on what we think was supposed to be the thing that keeps us from our blessings, or being aware of the blessings that we have here and now, or just ahead for us. You know, you might not realize you're on a new path because you're still processing the past, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Sometimes we need to process the past, but don't get stuck there. Try to notice when you're living in it, inner narrative is getting toxic and you're shaming or holding yourself, because there is a beautiful reason for exactly where you are, how you are now. And if anybody could surprise you, because you might be hyper intelligent, but if anybody could surprise you, you would be the one to surprise yourself. And that's exactly what you've done here. You are in charge of your path and you are the master of it, and you have surprised yourself in a sense on this journey with what is to come. And it's so much more beautiful than you could be realizing right now. Also, sometimes we have dreams and goals and visions in a certain way in our mind because they serve as beacons to lead us through the tumultuous path in the dark woods. You know, sometimes that's what it serves as. And when we emerge into a new territory, sometimes we're so stuck on those beacons that we don't know how to release them and be here and now in the new path, new journey, new beacons that guide us. And sometimes the purpose is the guidance, not the destination we think. The motivation towards that destination was actually the purpose, not always that actual destination. Would also like to point out that there is no path left. This is like the edge of a cliff over here. You could have a spirit animal or a little animal with you as well that's been a part or is a part of the new path too, and they're kind of speaking to you about this in some way or another. What else is here? Please and thank you. King of Swords. Hierophant in reverse. This could be an air sign in your life, a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, masculine, or this could talk about, it's almost like the sensation of having enhanced gifts. We already kind of established that there's something about your decisiveness, determination, your vision, your clarity, your perspective, your voice, your writing, the way you express, something about this that was important to you or maybe has felt blocked up for a while. Of course, everybody, our truths are important, right? So maybe there's something that's actually advancing or being encouraged to advance in this area. And maybe you don't need some system of authority that you thought you always needed, some contract, some cage or higher agreement or traditional way to be in this beautiful energy. Maybe you don't need that, and that's what you are discovering, what you're learning, and you didn't know that before. Before you thought you needed this, whatever this is to you, whatever that constitutes. It could have been the institution of marriage. It could have been some kind of a higher, I'm hearing government official, some kind of a higher, again, contract entity. If it was music, maybe it's a label. Who knows how that would look? Like maybe you thought you needed this thing. And it's almost like you're learning you can be your own here. That you don't need this, and you're learning it in a way you didn't know it before. And whether it's this person in your life or yourself or both, it's kind of helping show you this or give you the opportunity to recognize this. That's great. You could do well, perhaps, if it resonates with a little different schedule or discipline. I don't think these words are probably the most friendly for you to hear, but in your own way, you might do well with a schedule that works for you of some kind, okay? Not what those words might mean to the society, but for you, what does that mean? What does that say? And just not to bite off more than we can chew, all right? This is also bringing something, I feel like this is bringing a project or bringing some kind of work out of hiding. This is bringing something to surface. This is bringing something out to be seen. We've spent a lot of time, a lot of energy hermiting alone, reflecting on the past. And it's like as you move forwards into the new, one way to ground the new, what is present, is to be in it. Not to be always away from it. And that doesn't just mean your physical being, like you have to go out and socialize, which it could too, but it can also be your work. When your work is viewed, or your project, or your creativity, or your voice, or your expression, or who you are in some way is viewed now, you're also grounding the reality by it being perceived, by it being viewed in a way that works for you. But it would be something, it's like you're not wanting to hide anymore. It's like it's people need to hear this, the world needs to hear this, some part of something needs to reach. Also, this is coming to mind, 321 and 1034. There's some artists who are famous after they die or way later in life. People get their stuff later, or they mull over their stuff for years. It becomes, these works become historical. You never know in what time or place what you are creating or putting out there will be so useful, or how it will influence. And it's not really up to you to decide. It's just when it's time to deliver. There's so much of like the past stuff that it feels that you're trying to move away from and walk away from, but it's like you're not fully giving yourself permission. Maybe this is because you haven't forgiven yourself. You're still blaming, or you're still in a narrative of, I should have done this, or I should have this, or this is the way it was supposed to go and it didn't, and I messed up and I didn't. Maybe somebody put that on you. Maybe you heard that from somebody at one point, a parent or a fortune teller, a psychic. Maybe somebody told you, maybe people you looked up to, maybe they told you like, hey, like don't mess up, like if you do, maybe there was like a fear there, and this is very strongly telling you, release it. You don't need that. That is not the only truth. That is 1% perspective, one limited perspective outside of you, and it is not the only truth. If there's anything you can learn here, it's that everything in life is possible. And I think why you're stuck on this and having a hard time sometimes moving away is because you feel like you're not allowed to. You feel like it somehow admits some kind of defeat, or your life will be worthless, or that you can't accept some kind of, it's too much for you. Like maybe you feel like there's a failure here. There's not. There is not a failure here. The feelings you have, understandable, valid, process them, maybe make art with them, whatever. But you're not the only one that feels like that. Remember, your art can reach people, or your expression can reach people. So if you do have those feelings, you can reach a lot of people with those same feelings too. You're not alone in that. But also know that here and now you are precisely, even if it sucks to admit that, where you need to be, where you're supposed to be. There is no should've, would've, could've, supposed to. This is your life. It is. And life is it's not what we expect it to be most of the time. I also feel like you expected some kind of very I want to say sort of independent financial success, or independent financial, luxurious, in a very independent way. And I'm not saying that that's not possible, but there could also be a part of that that's hard for you. Maybe you wanted resources to continue to 616 fuel, which means you're on the right path. You wanted resources to continue to fuel a hyper independence, or to keep you away from any kind of dependency, emotional dependence. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but there is something coming through about that as well. Yeah, this is almost that you wouldn't want to rely on a partner, or masculine energy for support somehow. I feel like that was part of your vision. There could also be something about the father, absentee father, or troubles around the father here, or a lack of support. There could have also been just a loss of masculine energy in your life. Somebody who meant a great deal to you, maybe it was familial. Around the time that a lot of this, what you might call a descent, or these changes were occurring. Let's just get a little bit more here. Remember, you guys can always email frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries, okay? Wow. See, and this might be something you would never be able to admit, or you haven't been able to admit, but I see this a lot. When stuff is removed from our life that just we can't handle, that it's been removed, or we feel like it's our fault and it's unbearable to us, most of the time I will see the 10 of Wands in reverse around that storyline. And this is literally, whatever you call it, spirit, source, you can even say God telling you, this was a burden I removed from your shoulders that is greater than your capacity to comprehend and understand. And maybe you lived so long with a burden on your shoulders that you don't understand the feeling of weightlessness, and it's uncomfortable for you, because there's a certain comfort in gravity. There's a certain comfort in the broken back that is just carrying all of it when you're so used to it. But the burden that was relieved here through all of this being released, and all of this maybe not coming to pass as you thought, is immeasurable. This was back-breaking work that it was not suited to you, I'm hearing. Okay? Not in the way that you believe. And nobody's here to tell you your path, okay? So I don't want you to take this too much at face value, but this is one of the most beautiful, gorgeous outcomes that you could ever dream for, and it's not the one you initially planned, because here the abundance is shared. It's a team. It's built somehow with community. Oh, there's a hidden card behind that too. Look at that. Yeah, it's built with a team, or it's built with a community. There's more options available to you to explore instead of just one set option. You have multiple talents, multiple paths, multiple opportunities. You're convening with others to decide. That's not something maybe you had foreseen for yourself. Maybe you wanted that independent finance or that independent security, but there's something about having a joined or a family security here. Doesn't have to mean you're blood family, but even a built family or team even, but this is soul family. It's like people that love you, that want to work with you. With the sun, it's absolute happiness. You have way less work to do. It's more freedom. It's more independence in other ways, okay? And it's like you have so much support materially, which also helps you heal certain wounds around your material that you could have been trying to compensate for or cover up by aiming for a more independent material success. Again, there's a lot of independence here. It's nothing negative on the dependency, but it's just so much more amazing than you could have really imagined. All the fuel and the energy and the emotion that you had in your visions before have helped to create this. Instead of the 9 of Pentacles, it's the 10 of Pentacles. If you know, you know. The 9 of Pentacles left you, the 10 of Pentacles came instead with the 3 of Pentacles. These came out together. The 3 was hidden behind it. This is community work, options. This is like working together, being able to navigate together. It's more secure than ever. It's having multiple talents and choices. 5 of Wands in reverse is a lack of conflict, a lack of competition. It could even be like just removing yourself from that competitive environment and world as it is. Like, it could also indicate just peace, harmony. You know, this could say that dramatic system you're used to is no more. It's negated. This could also this could imply that you just don't have to struggle. You've always maybe thought you had to struggle. You don't have to here. The sun is one of the most free, liberating, and we saw it on the bottom of the deck too, free, liberating messages that you could see. And it is truth. It is clarity as well. It's being in your truth, free. Okay? This is gorgeous. Let me make sure. I feel like there was one other thing to say. Sometimes we design a life, I'm hearing something along these lines, okay? Sometimes we design a life to cover up for all the things we don't want to face or deal with, and we don't even realize we're doing it until it's too late. In a sense, it's never really too late, but we, you know, in a way. And this here, it's like you've been saved this burden by yourself. You are the architect. An aspect of you, the heart aspect of you is the architect before you're even here, you know. And it's like you saved yourself with all the help of all the energies, angels, thank you, source. What maybe you call God, maybe that word has significance to you. But it's like you saved yourself going through that burdensome, turmoil kind of path so that you could come into something that is true, that is really true, and you don't even recognize it until you're in it, until you're well into it. I'm hearing you don't even recognize it until you're well into it, brick by brick. And also they're saying that you've built this from, with the love that you have for others, or from the love you have for others, which is a great deal of the sort. So don't fool yourself for too long. All right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for receiving this. Much love your way, and wow, much success to you. Not that you need it.